let's go into our news of the week. We have a lot of it. It's brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. That's the place you want to have front of mind if you're thinking about buying a new house, because they can hook you up with a great mortgage from a variety of different banks. Remember, Eagle Mortgage is a mortgage brokerage firm, not a bank, so they can shop the banks and find the best one for you, get the best deal that fits your unique circumstances. This is the start of spring. I mean, we're in March. It's going to be in the 70s within the next few days, and a lot of people want to go search for houses. One of the first things you want to do is talk to Holly Schneidwind or one of her team members at Eagle Mortgage and get everything set straight. Get yourself a pre-approval letter, and you will be in good shape for the house hunting process. eaglemortgagecompany.com. Well, starting off, construction has reached the second floor and higher at Creighton University's future sophomore residence hall. Trenton, this is a 151,000 square foot, 5-level building that is at 21st and Cummings Street. It's immediately east of Creighton School of Dentistry. It'll house 400 students, completion planned for the fall of 2026. What's also interesting about this, though, it's one of 4 construction projects Creighton University has underway or planned right there along Cummings Street. The other one is going to be kind of a maintenance storage building. That's in the early phases. The new varsity softball stadium is coming along nicely. And pretty soon, I believe this summer, if I'm not mistaken, or this fall, they'll start work on the outdoor baseball practice facility.
It'll be interesting to see how their the number of students has it increased. Their what do you call that?
Enrollment?
Yeah,
student body.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, when I've looked at Creighton's enrollment, it looks like it just kind of steadily rises. I don't get the impression that they're aggressively trying to skyrocket the size of that university, but I get the impression they're trying to keep growing.
I think they've done a good job in their endowments and people leaving them money, and they put it to good use, and definitely increasing the amenities for their students as well as Omaha.
They've certainly done a good job with making the campus bigger and more beautiful. I mean, these buildings that Creighton keeps constructing look great. I mean, all of them on the east side have this, nice red brick matching theme, and it's the campus is really, really looking good, and it's coming together. And basically, the university from the west and the builders district from the east keep building and building, and you're just going to see that whole area in the not too distant future filled in with some pretty cool projects that will really create a lot of economic activity in North Downtown. Square Apartments have opened on the southwest corner of 30th and Leavenworth Street in Midtown. This is a 5-level building, 73 apartment units from studio to 2-bedroom, and it's just part of what's becoming a very vibrant area. The Mill Coffee Shop is right there in that area, and there are a bunch of rumors floating around that the Mill might open a second location in the heart of downtown Omaha. They're originally from Lincoln. And but back to that 30th and Leavenworth area, just a lot of construction in that area. There's even another apartment building a block or two to the south that is slated but has not started. So that's becoming a pretty vibrant and walkable area. Visit Omaha, which is the city's Convention and Visitors Bureau, is upgrading the Omaha Visitors Center. This is at 306 South 10th Street, which is basically 10th and Farnham, southwest corner. Updates include accessibility improvements as well as a new entrance, clearer signage, and there will be updated brochures and displays and retail shelves so people can take a souvenir of Omaha home with them.
Nice.
Interior build-out is progressing inside a 12,000 square foot space at Shadow Lake Town Center in Papillion. That will soon be a Barnes & Noble bookstore. Our sponsor, Perkins Kreitzer Construction, is doing the construction work inside. But crews last week were building shelves and store fixtures in there. The actual address is 7949 Town Center Parkway in Papillion. It used to be a Best Buy store.
What's interesting about it's kind of Back to the Future. I was talking to a guy who actually collects VHS tapes, like movies. And like if they're not open, even better. He loves the old school VHS. And I don't know if he's going Betamax or Laserdisc, but it's pretty interesting to think that we're going back to bookstores. So many bookstores closed around the country, and Barnes & Noble out at Oakview has hung on, and now they're doing a second one, and I think that's neat.
Yeah, and the metro area has lost a couple Barnes and Nobles. I mean, there was one at the Crossroads. I believe there was one in Council Bluffs. Of course, there was time we had a couple three Borders bookstores in town, and that whole entire chain is gone. But I don't know. I love going to bookstores. I'm glad to see they're not going away. I want to congratulate another company that's one of our sponsors. Bankers Trust celebrated the grand opening of its first full-service location in Omaha on Wednesday, just this past Wednesday. Nice ribbon cutting with the chamber. But this is a beautiful two-story building southwest of 192nd and West Dodge Road. Bankers Trust is a big deal in the state of Iowa, and they're becoming a very big deal here in Omaha. A lot of seasoned Omaha banking professionals who Trenton and I are friends with.
Yeah, Sam Mossert does a great job over there.
Yep, she's the Nebraska president. And so we're just really happy for Bankers Trust. It's an outstanding organization making a huge commitment to Omaha and Nebraska, and we also appreciate them being a Grow Omaha sponsor.
And 192nd and Dodge, 10 years ago you would have thought that was the edge of the universe, but it's like it's not that far out anymore.
No, I mean, you think about so many development projects happening in that area, and then, of course, you know, to a mile to the west of that is the 204th Street corridor, which is just bonkers and bananas. There's so much development there.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of retail, you know, that's part of the Nebraska Good Life Transformation Act, one of the Good Life districts and around there, and they're only talking about 225 acres or less or something like that. But in order to do that, you got to have sales tax to make it work, to collect that 2.75% of the state's share. So I haven't heard of any, you know, they've talked about stadiums there. They've talked about some retail and stuff, but no names have really come up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who they end up landing there. The visibility, the accessibility, and the demographics in the area are, well, the demographics are about as good as it gets in the state of Nebraska. So I'm sure you'll end up with some very cool stuff as the time goes along.
People are always talking about, well, we need another Whole Foods or another Trader Joe's
It'd be a good
out
spot
west.
for one.
It'd be interesting to see, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's finish the news with a couple stories from Bellevue. First of all, we have new car-related businesses that are planned for vacant land just west of Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealership, which is not far from 22nd and West Chandler Road. AutoZone is going to be right on the southeast corner of 22nd and West Chandler Road. And then additionally, a new car dealership will be built south of that store. And that dealership is identified as Lux Automotive. It has a used car dealership and existing location at 61st and L Street in Omaha. And then we've talked a little bit about this lately, but there's a lot brewing with this big Bellevue Bay water project. The city of Bellevue is rezoning land related to that $60 million development project. This is northwest of Highway 75 and Hidden Valley Drive. Hidden Valley Drive is a little offshoot off of Platteview Road. And this is, like I said, going to be known as the Bellevue Bay Water Park. It'll anchor Bellevue's state-approved Good Life District. And according to Bellevue City planning documents, the city will rezone the first of 5 lots of that district to mixed use. The water park will be built as phase 1 of that overall development. Now, phase 2 will include a few new hotels and parking. The hotel brands have not been identified, but at least one of them appears to have direct access to the planned water park via covered walkway or skywalk. We also have dozens of new commercial development plans. Brian Thomas from our office, NAI NP Dodge, is going to be leading the real estate brokerage work for that area. So if you're interested in being in that area, let us know at NP Dodge. One other thing about that, Bellevue has unsuccessfully so far petitioned for approval of a Bellevue Racino. A racino is a racing track casino because the state of Nebraska has already approved the maximum of 5 of these establishments. But I know Bellevue would like to have one, but there are 5: Omaha, Lincoln, Grand Island, Columbus, and South Sioux City. But it sounds like Bellevue still has its eyes on getting one of those eventually.
So it has to have a racetrack in order to have the casino. So it would be part of Ho Chunk or?
I don't know, but apparently, that Warhorse thing that we have on Q Street is a racino because they have horse racing there. Like, what do they have? Like 5 minutes of horse racing?
I think they have the same thing in Lincoln, and I know it's affiliated with the Native American casino. However, they structured the legislation, but I've done the research for the last 20 to 30 years, Jeff, and I can tell you that gambling, while it's fun and entertaining, is pretty much a tax on the stupid.
But wait a minute, you go gambling.
Well, that was just for the research.
Oh, okay. So you're not saying you're stupid.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay. Well, at any rate, that's your news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.